Hey guys, sorry no other videos today, just wasn't that kind of day. I had to get a lot of work done at home. Anyhow, I just wanted to quickly go over the definition of apostasy. It's synonyms in Greek and Hebrew, and where it's used and how it's used, and why it's imperative to understand this form of this word, rather, excuse me, because it literally describes a leaving the Lord. It doesn't mean that they weren't once one of us, like the Hosea crowd, the once saved, always saved crowd says. It literally means they were at one point in line with the Lord and what he requires for faith, and they have decided to turn the other direction, literally turn their back. And let me get into this real quick. What is apostasy? Apostasia is the noun form, literally the falling away. Apostasion is the verb, to divorce or to fall away. Definition of falling away, a defection, apostasy. That's from the Strong's Greek dictionary. The verb form is Aphistemi, to be led away or to depart from. That is used in Luke 8:13. Aphistantai, they apostatize, they leave him, essentially. It's synonymous with the Greek word skandalizo, to put a snare in the way of, or to cause to stumble, or to give offense. And whether you know this or not, in the Old Testament and the New, to cause someone to stumble is to literally cause them to leave the Lord, back away from him. That is used in Matthew 13:20 through 21. Skandalizetai, I believe that's what that's pronounced. He apostatizes. And then the they form, if you will, Skandalizontai, they apostatize. So the you plural form, also in 2 Peter 2:20 through 22. It's synonymous with the English words to leave or to divorce, the verb to leave, to divorce. The picture is we're called the bride repeatedly, and it's for a reason. It's because we choose to stay with him through thick and thin, just the same way a good bride is supposed to stay. And we all know this. This is reasonable to our mind. The once saved, always saved crowd, for whatever reason, likes to divorce themselves of this notion, ironically. Let's see, the Hebrew synonym for apostasy, for the actual act of turning away, the noun form, if you will, is Meshubah, and it literally means turning back. When he was talking about the Egyptians, the Israelites rather, turning back to the Egyptians in their heart, that entire first generation was killed off because of their unbelief. They literally watched everything that he did. They saw all the things that you would need, I would think, to be able to believe in him, stay with him, trust him, follow Moses, do the right thing. But instead, they decided to turn back. The verb form is shubh, to turn back, to turn away. Uses in Scripture in the Old Testament, Proverbs 1:32 for the turning away of the simple. Jeremiah 2:19. This is the portions of the verse. I'm not reading the whole verse. Jeremiah 2:19. And your apostasies will reprove. Jeremiah 5:6. Their apostasies are numerous. Their turning aways are numerous. Their defections from the Lord. That's what it means. Hosea 14:4. I will heal their apostasies, and so on, because it's a constant theme throughout the Old Testament and the New, because we are constantly warned, Paul's shipwreck of faith, all of those things constantly are being brought to mind because we are the problem. It's not the Lord. It's not whether or not he wants to keep us in his hand, He absolutely is not going to let somebody take us away from him, but we absolutely, just like a bride can, even if it's wrong, which it almost always is, can leave. So this is something we need to acknowledge. I'm going to be using this information and more when I go back and talk to that pastor, because I really don't want to, but he seems to think that he can change my mind, which, crazy, but it is what it is. We need to understand this. This does not mean that every little sin will cast us away from him. It literally means that if we choose to deny who he says he was, God, man, his death saves you, one with the Father, that is what causes us to leave him and to actually apostatize. And if that ever occurs, be it by just everyday life, tribulations coming at us, or in the case of the upcoming turmoil we're going to experience, taking the mark, is the exact same thing as denying who Christ is. So I hope you guys found this useful. I think for the most part, those that are watching my channel already understand this, but there is plenty of people that you probably know that refuse to, and it's a choice. And we need to be honest, because it's in his word for a reason, and the picture is clear. You can choose to stay, like the good wife, the bride, or you can choose to leave, divorce him, and no longer be the bride, and give it up. Third seed fell on the rock, had no root in faith, in the word, and in tough times decided to leave because it was just too hard. So bless you guys. I hope you're having a good day. Again, forgive me for not coming out with more. I'm trying to do these smaller videos so that I can just condense some really heavy learning into them so that you can understand that the word is very much pointing to us having to stay. That doesn't mean that some third party can come take us away, no, but it does mean we need to choose to stay regardless of what the devil hands us. And that's the whole point. Otherwise, why would he come after us after faith? Bless you guys. Talk to you soon.